Have you ever noticed this? Some people scroll every day. They watch stories. They like posts. They know what everyone is doing, but they never post their own photos. No selfies, no vacation pictures, no look at me moments. And the reason isn't what most people think. This isn't about being boring or insecure or antisocial. This is the psychology of people who don't post their photos. And if this is you, you're going to feel uncomfortably understood by the end of this video. Let's start with something important. In today's world, posting yourself online is almost expected. It's how people prove they exist, how they signal happiness, success, confidence. So when someone doesn't do that, it stands out. And psychology has a lot to say about why. 1. They separate identity from validation. Most people don't just post photos, they post for a reaction, likes, comments, views. That feedback loop activates dopamine, the brain's reward chemical. It's the same system behind habits and addictions. But people who don't post their photos often learned something early. They don't need external validation to feel real. Their sense of identity is more internal, more self-referenced. Psychologists call this internal self-worth. They ask themselves, do I like who I am? Not, do others approve of me? That doesn't mean they're confident all the time. It means their self-esteem isn't built on public applause. They don't feel the urge to prove their life online because their life already feels real to them. And once you understand that, a lot of their behavior suddenly makes sense. You may have recognized yourself already. 2. They are highly self-aware, sometimes too self-aware. Here's a paradox. Many people assume not posting photos means low confidence, but psychology often shows the opposite. These people are extremely aware of how they are perceived. They notice angles, expressions, body language, subtle judgment. This is linked to high self-monitoring and metacognition, the ability to think about how you're being seen. They don't want a frozen image to define them. They don't like being reduced to a snapshot because they know a photo never tells the full story. So instead of curating an image, they opt out entirely. To them, silence feels more honest than performance, and honesty matters more than visibility. 3. They dislike performative living. For some people, social media feels like a stage. Everyone is smiling, everyone is winning, everyone is living their best life. But people who don't post their photos often see through this. They recognize social comparison theory in real time. They know photos aren't memories anymore. They're messages, signals of status, attractiveness, belonging, and that feels uncomfortable. They don't want their life to become content. They don't want moments to be evaluated. So instead of asking, how will this look online? They ask, how does this feel right now? That mindset is strongly linked to emotional independence. 4. They value privacy more than visibility. Not everyone wants to be seen. Some people want to be understood by a few. People who avoid posting photos often have strong psychological boundaries. They intuitively understand something many people don't. The more you share, the less control you have. Photos invite opinions, assumptions, projections. And once it's out there, it's no longer yours. So they protect their inner world. Psychologically, this aligns with secure self-boundaries. They don't confuse accessibility with connection. They know intimacy doesn't require an audience. 5. They feel safer being observers. Here's a subtle one. Many non-posters are deep observers. They read energy. They notice patterns. They understand people quickly. Being online but invisible gives them psychological distance. They can engage without exposure. This is often tied to high emotional intelligence and sometimes introversion, but not always. They're not hiding. They're choosing perspective. Watching feels safer than being watched, and safety matters more to them than attention. 6. They associate attention with pressure. For some people, attention doesn't feel rewarding. It feels heavy. Expectations rise. Replies are expected. An image has to be maintained. Psychology calls this evaluation anxiety. Once you post, you're no longer just living. You're being assessed. And not everyone wants their life to become a performance review. So they avoid the cycle altogether, not because they can't handle it, but because they don't want to. Their nervous system prefers calm over stimulation. 7. They don't want to explain their happiness. This one hits deep. Some people don't post photos because they don't want questions. Where was this? Who are you with? What are you doing now? They've learned that peace doesn't need witnesses. They enjoy moments quietly, without narrating them, because for them, happiness feels smaller and more fragile once it's explained. Psychologically, this shows low need for social reinforcement. Their joy doesn't increase when others see it, and sometimes it actually decreases. So what does all this mean? If you don't post your photos, it doesn't mean you're insecure. It might mean you're introspective, self-aware, emotionally independent, protective of your inner world. You don't confuse being visible with being valuable. And in a world obsessed with being seen, that's rare. But here's the most important part. There's nothing wrong with posting photos, and there's nothing wrong with not posting them. Psychology isn't about labeling behavior as good or bad. It's about understanding why. And when you understand yourself, you stop trying to fit patterns that were never yours. If this video felt uncomfortably accurate, that's not coincidence. That's self-recognition. And if you enjoy content that decodes human behavior without judgment, that makes you feel understood instead of analyzed, you will feel at home here. Subscribe and stay curious about your mind.